I am Israel Isaiah the First. This is Comm-108. No, hello. I hello. I am Israel Isaiah the First, and I'm pleased to be in you all's presence today. And I'm glad to be able to share with you what I believe deep down in my heart, what can essentially help you build fruitful and prosperous relationships. Now, the first time I spoke with you all, it was about how to live a happy and peaceful life. And I continue to want to do that, which is why I'm speaking with you today and informing you of how important and crucial effective in communication is in relationships. Today, we are unaware of how impactful effective communication is in our relationships, whether personal relationships or professional relationships. Now, data tells us that 40 to 50% of marriages ends in divorce. One of the key reasons is because a lack of effective communication. Statistics also tells us that 275 million people globally are affected and impacted with anxiety, all because of one of these key things, effective communication in relationships. Now, I have 3 things that we will discuss in this informative time that we will share. The first thing of the 3 pillars of relationships is building trust. Trust is very huge in making sure your relationships are successful. You have to ask yourselves, how can anything be successful with any partner in your life if you don't trust them? It will affect you mentally if you can't trust them, affect you emotionally if you can't trust them, and it can affect you physically if you don't trust a person. Trust is a pillar of successful relationships. Now, take these things into consideration. Look at what trust can do for your relationships. When effective communication is used the proper way, it builds trust in a way where it gives you confidence in the person or the situation of the relationship that's at hand. Trust allows you to gain assurance that a person can meet their responsibilities and what they're accountable for, as well what they're speaking of. It allows you to have a peace of mind and rest easy and know that everything will be okay in your relationship. Ask yourself, how could you have confidence in a person if you don't trust? Trust will help you have belief in your relationship being successful. It will let you have hope in success for your relationship. That's how powerful trust is. Now, moving forward on to the next pillar, resolving confrontations and disputes. Effective communication is very important when it comes to resolving conflicts, confrontations, and disputes. You got to think about it. How quickly do conversations turn into arguments with your wife or your husband, your mother or your father or your children or your friends or your colleagues? When there's a misunderstanding somewhere, you try to talk and have a peaceful conversation. But how soon, just like that clap, can a conversation go from here to screaming at each other? Just that fast. Just that fast. And it's because it was a lack of communication somewhere. Something somewhere down the line. It was a misunderstanding somewhere. See, with effective communication and resolving disputes, it would allow you to not only convey your message, but it will also help you to understand what they're trying to convey to you, which would allow you to be able to listen and receive everything that they're saying while being able to give feedback to that person or respond effectively back to that person, assuring that person that you understand what they are trying to say and allowing you to meet that person where you're at, allow you to find a solution because of your understanding and comprehension of what they're saying, and you being able to deliver back a response that will help you all meet common ground, resolving conflicts. That's how big effective communication is. Now, lastly, the last pillar, we had building trust, resolving conflicts and disputes. And now we have what I like to have a tie-in piece of the two, which is conveying your message clearly and with direction. And that's what effective communication does. With trust, your relationship will succeed. With resolving and disputes will give you a successful relationship. And that will help you to be able to convey your message effectively, clearly, and with direction. Now think about this, whether it's in your marriages or your friendships, when you can't effectively communicate properly, you can't guide the conversation where you're trying to take it. You're trying to find the best way to form your words in a way where a person can understand, so that way you can guide you all through the conversation. But without effective communication and being able to speak and convey your message clearly and with direction, think, how quickly can somebody misinterpret what it is that you're trying to say? How quickly can they turn what it is that you're trying to say into something that you're not intending it to mean or signify? It makes it very easy to feel like they're either disrespected, they can take it personally in a negative way because they don't understand. See, effective communication has helped many people succeed professionally and in family and personal life, with their marriages and friendships. And with the lack of effective communication, many have failed, which is why we spoke about divorce or friendships ending. Some of the best friendships ended. Think about it, even in the rap industry, you had some of the greatest friends. You had Biggie Smalls and Tupac that led into death. Martin Luther King and Dr. King, on a positive note, did not agree at one point in time, did not communicate properly at one time. Malcolm X even spoke openly and apologized of how he spoke about his brother, Martin Luther King. And eventually, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and even Coretta Scott came together, found common ground, and succeeded in furthering a movement of peace and development in the Black community and the end of discrimination. They was able to agree on one of the hardest topics, which was segregation or desegregation. And those two brothers came together peacefully. Why? Because of effective communication and being able to convey the message clearly and with direction. Think about how conversations go wrong because you felt emotionally that you said something wrong to, because you misinterpreted what the person was saying. So with trust, that's what comes with effective communication. Resolving conflicts and disputes comes with effective communication. And clarifying your message clearly and giving it direction so you all can, at the end of the conversation, ultimately end up where you want to be, which is on a good, positive, and mutual understanding note. Now, to conclude, effective communication is very crucial, invaluable to the success of your personal and professional relationships.